Hey folks, Wally here, and today our adventuring party is going to enter a shop that is full of trinkets and collectibles, but the shopkeeper has a sign up that says, back in 20 minutes. As they begin to explore about, they're going to see on the counter is going to be a snow globe. And of course, next to the snow globe is going to be a sign that says, 4,000 gold pieces, do not touch the merchandise. So of course, what our adventurers going to probably do, they're probably going to shake the snow globe. And when they shake the snow globe, it's going to trigger the trap. So in today's video, we're going to go over how to set up this trap and at least 3 or 4 different effects that you can choose from if you decided to run it in your game. But before we get started, just a reminder that if you're enjoying the content on this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, join me over on the Discord, and pick up a copy of my book, Wally DM's Journal and Puzzle Encounters, available now on DriveThruRPG. So the snow globe trap is a magical trap that you could place in a lot of different scenarios. Perhaps you put it on a wizard's desk protecting their work, maybe it's in a noble's home, or like we're going to see in this video, maybe it is on the counter of a merchant's shop. So with this trap, our adventurers are going to enter this eccentric shop, and it's going to be filled with all types of trinkets, collectibles, and merchandise. Now, as they come through the door, they're going to see several glyphs of warding on the side and above the doorway. Now, if any of our adventurers are proficient with Arcana or on a DC 12 Arcana check, they're going to be able to ascertain that the glyphs that are in the doorway are explosive runes, and they will be triggered if anything is stolen from the shop. So this is the shopkeeper's anti-theft device. Now, if the characters try to steal something anyway, perhaps they try to stick something in a bag of holding or whatnot, and try to make their way out the door with it, then I would make as a suggestion that each rune will explode for 1d6 of acid damage, and perhaps this acid damage is going to remain on them until it's removed. It might even have a corrosive element to it, so perhaps it hits their armor or their shields and it starts to dissolve those. Now, as the characters come into the shop, they're not going to see a shopkeeper or anyone that is looking over the place. They are, however, going to see all kinds of different trinkets and collectibles. But on every shelf in this place is going to be a sign that says, do not touch. Now, the item that's going to draw their attention the most is going to be this snow globe that's on the counter. And it's going to have a sign by it that says, do not touch. I would probably even go as far as putting a price tag on it. Perhaps we have 4,000 gold pieces. So that's definitely going to get a character's attention. 4,000 gold pieces, do not touch. What the heck is this thing? Now, I'm also going to have one other note that is folded on the table here, and it's going to say back in 20 minutes. So that should set this trap up for the adventurers to take a look around and probably get into some things they're not supposed to. Now, as far as this snow globe in the corner, I would describe it as a sphere of glass mounted on an ornate base. The sphere is filled with water and contains a scene featuring a snowman standing in front of a miniature log cabin. Now, the base of this globe is covered with tiny white particles. So if our characters pick this up and shake the snow globe, that's going to trigger our trap. Now, as previously stated, I'm going to give you a lot of different effects to choose from. But the primary effect for this trap is going to be that everyone that's within 20 feet of the globe needs to make a DC 15 wisdom saving throw, or they're going to be miniaturized and they're going to be pulled into the snow globe. Now, once the characters are pulled into the snow globe, they're going to be in there for 30 seconds and they're going to take a D4 of cold damage for every 6 seconds. So if they stay there the entire length, then that's going to be 5d4 of cold damage. However, if the character that is holding the snow globe also gets pulled inside, then the orb is going to fall and hit the ground. But it is nearly indestructible because it is a magical item. However, all of those that are inside of the orb, including the one that was holding it and got pulled in, are going to take an extra d6 of bludgeoning damage as they're shaken about the sphere. So let's say our wizard and our rogue are the two that were pulled into the snow globe. So if they're in there for the full length of 30 seconds, they'll take the 5d4 cold damage. And if the globe is dropped, they'll take 1d6 of bludgeoning damage. And after that time has expired, they're going to reappear in an unoccupied space somewhere around the snow globe. However, let's say our paladin feels that shaking the snow globe will get his friends out of there sooner, and he shakes the snow globe, then that is going to reset our 30-second timer. So not only is our rogue and our wizard going to take another 1d6 of bludgeoning damage for being shaken about inside the snow globe, the timer is going to reset, and they're going to take a d4 of cold damage every 6 seconds. So it looks like now their lives while inside the snow globe are in the paladin's hands. And of course, once the snow stops falling to the ground, they're going to reappear in an unoccupied space somewhere around the snow globe. Now, with regards to the glyph of warding that is inside the snow globe that's triggered when the snow globe is shaken, it's going to be up to you, the DM, as to whether or not the glyph of warding is going to reset and the trap can be triggered again, or if it was just a one-time effect. I would probably just go with a one-time effect. I think that's plenty for this type of a trap. Now, some of the alternate effects that could happen when the trap is triggered, perhaps this time all of our adventurers are pulled into the snow globe, no saving throw allowed, and then when they're inside there, the snowman that is inside is actually a snow golem, and we'll roll for initiative. So we'll do 5 rounds of combat, which is the 30 seconds, after which the characters that were pulled in are going to reappear in an unoccupied space somewhere within the shop. The third effect that could happen is, rather than being pulled into the snow globe, perhaps when they shake it, it cracks and breaks, and an evil snowman will appear and attack, or perhaps some type of a yeti or some other snow monster that was inside the globe is going to be freed, and will roll for initiative, and we may end up destroying the entire shop. Another effect that could happen when this trap is triggered is perhaps whoever's shaking the snow globe, let's say our wizard is doing that, they may need to make a DC 15 charisma saving throw, or they're going to become obsessed with it. They're not going to want to put it down, and they're going to feel like everyone is trying to steal it from them. They're going to become paranoid. This is going to become their prize item. Now, one more effect that could happen is perhaps instead of a snowman and log cabin on the inside of this snow globe, maybe it's a miniature model of the shop or the town that they're in, and when they do shake the snow globe, then a snowstorm or a blizzard is going to appear outside, and if they try to leave, it's just going to be packed with snow. They're going to bury the entire town. Now, some of the countermeasures that the party can use to try to detect this trap or try to disable it is the first will be a detect magic spell. So if that is cast on this snow globe, then the spell is going to reveal an aura of conjuration magic, and that would refer to the teleportation of the characters inside the snow globe if the trap were to be triggered. Now, let's say one of the characters picks up the snow globe but doesn't shake it and just very cautiously shifts or tilts it to the left or to the right, then we're going to allow them a DC 15 investigation check, and on a success, then they may catch a glimpse of a glyph that is hidden underneath of those white particles inside the snow globe. And then finally, a Dispel Magic with a DC 12 will also successfully disable the trap. Now, if you'd like to take this trap a step further, what happens after the trap is triggered? Here's a few ideas that you could throw in your game. Perhaps the shopkeeper is trapped inside the snow globe, so they need to shake it, and when they do that, they're able to teleport inside, and maybe the shopkeeper's hanging out or hiding in the wood cabin. Perhaps he's hiding from that snow golem, and then our characters can defeat the snow golem, rescue the shopkeeper, and then come back to the shop. And of course, they probably get a reward for it. And what if this crystal ball is actually a magic item? I like the idea of putting a 4,000 gold piece price tag on it. It's going to draw the curiosity of the players, and perhaps this is simply a security device that you would see in like a department store or something along those lines. So when the shopkeeper comes back, if they want to purchase a snow globe, it's actually a magical item, and they can buy that, and once they have purchased it, the wizard will remove the trap from the snow globe. So that's all I have for you today. What did you think of the trap? Is this something that you would run in your game? And if so, what would you do differently? And don't forget, if you are a patron of the channel, the $2 level or higher, you can pick up the written version available now on Patreon. Thank you very much for watching, and on to the next.